Sai Ram students, a warm welcome to all of you. Today we'll be continuing with our topic Unseen Passage. Yesterday's class I had begun with the topic and we had covered what is unseen passage, the different types of unseen passages and the steps to understand the passage and answer the questions. Today's class we will be continuing with this topic, but before that let us have a short recap of what we did yesterday. So what is unseen passage? Unseen passages are a category of passages which are not presented in the book. These passages are not available in your textbook. They are solely introduced to enhance the vocabulary skill of students, and they are also known as unknown passages. Moving on to the tips for solving comprehension passages or unseen passages. To begin with, we have to read the passage thoroughly and the reading should be quick. Focus on relevant details and underline them either with a pen or pencil, preferably a pencil. Read the questions carefully and go back to the passage to find the answers. And once you find the answers, make sure you write them in your own words. Then to find the answer to the vocabulary based questions like synonyms, antonyms, you have to replace the word with the meaning. If you find that the meaning is the same, the answer is correct. For multiple choice questions, go through all the options, get back to the passage, read it once again, and then only tick the correct answer. Write complete sentences as answers, no one word, two words answers to be given. Your answers should be written in complete sentences. Answers must be relevant and to the point. Like I told you, for 1 mark, 2 mark, for 1 mark you will write 1 point, or 2 mark you will write 2 points, or if any other instruction is given, you have to follow that. Please don't write paragraph and expect the teacher to find out the answer from that paragraph. This is incorrect. You will not get any marks. Most of the passages, they require 2 readings, and before writing the answer, check the question to be sure that you have really understood them. Okay? Now, today we are going to begin with how to approach comprehension questions. I hope students, you have a book and a pen handy and you all are writing down all the important points. So let's get started. Let's understand how to approach comprehension questions. The first one in that is the why question. In the why question, you are required to give reasons, provide explanations, and give evidence for an answer. Okay, it is essential therefore to look out for words that show the cause, effect, and purpose in order to arrive at the answer. These words are cause word. Cause words signal the cause or reason for an event or an action. Why this particular thing took place. Okay, so these are, it will give a reason as to why a particular action took place or why an event was, held. So, look out for these words: because, due to, as, since, owing to, on account of, etc. Okay, so these are your cause words. Then we have effect. Effect words, they signal the result of an event or an action. Now these words include consequently, so, as a result, resulting in, therefore, with the effect of. So all these words, they show the effect of an event or an action, the result basically. Purpose word, the third one is purpose word. Purpose word indicate the reason for an event or an action. So again, here you look out for words like for, so that, so as to, in order to, in order that, for, the purpose of, and in order to. So the why questions, basically you are required to give reasons and provide explanations. Clear, students? For that you have to look out for the word which show cause, effect or purpose. Moving on to the next is the inference question. In the inference question, you are required to make a deduction or draw conclusion based on the information given in the passage. So here the answers are not straightforward. You have to read between the lines and understand what exactly the answer will be. Since these are not straightforward questions, it is essential, therefore, to read between the lines for the clues or hidden meanings. So when you are reading the lines, there itself you'll get a clue or a hidden meaning which will take you towards the answer. This can be done by understanding certain keywords and phrases. At times, you can draw an inference only after reading the entire passage. So you may get questions wherein the answers are not direct. Okay, that time you have to read the passage. Okay, there are times wherein you read the passage, only after that you get the answer. Or read between the lines. There you will find clues or hidden meanings which can help you get the answer. Okay. Moving on to the next type of question, that is the rephrasing question. At times you are required to explain a word, phrase in your own words or substitute a word phrase in the passage without altering its meaning. To do so, it is essential to understand the word phrase in its context. So, it is essential to read carefully what comes before and after it. Now, there are times wherein in a question you can get explain the word so and so, explain the phrase so and so, explain the line so and so. Okay, in that case what you will do is, and explaining the line is in your own words. Okay, and you have to explain in such a way that you are not altering, you are not changing its meaning. So for that, what is important? It is very important for you all to understand the meaning of that word, the meaning of that phrase or meaning of that line in its context, in what way it is used. So for understanding that, what is important? It is very essential for you to read carefully what comes before it or what comes after it. Only then you will be able to explain that line, that phrase or that word in your own words. Okay, so such type of questions are called as rephrasing questions. Next is vocabulary based questions. When you read a passage or a poem, you will come across words that are unfamiliar. Yesterday I told you, in yesterday's video I told you, when you start reading a passage, you will come across many words which are new for you. Okay, but don't worry, you have to underline them. Clear? So you will come across words that are unfamiliar. However, you don't need to look up the meaning of every new word or expression that you come across. When you have finished reading the passage, try to understand its overall meaning. You have to understand the overall meaning of the passage. Try to guess the meaning of unfamiliar words, expressions from the context. For this, you need to look for clues in the text itself. So, if you get a vocabulary based question, okay, but obvious, when you're answering it in your exam, you cannot sit with a dictionary. So what you have to do is, you have to try to guess the meaning of the unfamiliar words or expression from the context itself. You have to understand how a particular word is used in the context. You have to look out for the clues in the text itself. Okay. There is also one more type of question wherein they can ask you to complete a particular sentence. How to do that? I'll be showing it to you in your example passage. So I hope students, all of you have understood how to answer a particular question and how to understand how to answer a particular passage and how you understand questions. Okay, so now here I have an example question for all of you. Read the following passage and answer the questions that follow. So here I have a passage for all of you. Without oil, the modern world could not exist. Oil is needed for travel because it powers our motor cars, buses, trains, aeroplanes and ships. Oil helps machines of all kinds to run easily. I am underlining what I feel is important. It also gives us other substances like artificial rubber, artificial material for clothing, and new materials for making things. Yet, till 100 years ago, no one used oil for any of these purposes. In fact, no one knew that much oil existed. Men do not make oil, they find it. They look for oil in many ways. They begin by making a map of the land where they are searching. Then they use the map to help them choosing a site to explore with more care. They start their work by examining the rock from under the surface and come to know whether oil is likely to be underneath the rock. To find out how deeply the oil is buried, they need to know how far under the surface the rock is. If everything seems hopeful, the men decide to drill down through the rock. In this way, they find out whether oil really does lie underneath it. Often this test well, as it is called, is far away from any town and there is much work to do before any drilling starts. Houses and roads must be built for people coming to drill the test. Well, then the big derrick that carries the drill must be put up. This derrick is a strong framework of steel about 45 meters high. The drill is raised and lowered from inside the derrick. Drilling for oil often means making a well that goes well deep into the earth. Such deep wells have never been made until modern times. The rate of drilling depends upon the kind of rock being drilled. It can be as fast as 60 meters an hour. Drilling is usually done on dry land, but we can also drill the rocks under lakes or seas by putting the derrick on a special platform over the water. So here I have questions for you all to begin with. How is oil useful to machines? Okay, so how is oil useful to machines? Let us get back and understand the answer. So here we have the answer. Oil helps machines of all kinds to run easily. Next, how do men go about looking for oil? So how do men go about? Look here. They look for oil in many ways. Okay. What do they do? The actual answer begins from here. They begin making a map of land where they are searching. Okay. Then they use the map to help them choosing a site to explore with more care. From there, they start their work by examining the rock under the surface and come to know whether the oil is likely to be underneath the rock. So here, men begin making a map of land where they are searching. Then they use the map to help them choose a site to explore with more care. They start their work by examining the rock from under the surface and come to know whether oil is likely to be underneath the rock. Clear, students? On what does the rate of drilling depend? So the rate basically depends on, look here. The rate of drilling depends upon the kind of rock being drilled. Okay, this is the only answer. Next, to find out how deeply the oil is buried, we need to. Now it is just fill in the blanks. You have to complete the sentence basically. Okay, they have given you a sentence. This is another type of question that can be asked. A sentence is given to you and all you have to do is to just complete the sentence by looking up for its completion in the passage. Let us see how we can complete this. What do we need to know? Basically, how far the surface of the rock is. So just complete the entire sentence by writing how far under the surface the rock is. Next is your vocabulary based question. Now there are times in your examination they can give you that a particular word, the meaning of the word or the word is in the paragraph. So here I have given you an example. But it may happen that the paragraph will not be mentioned. Here I have given you just an example. Okay, it may be given in an examination or it may not be given. So to make a hole, basically to make a hole is to drill. So here I have the word drill in the third paragraph. Okay, moving ahead. A kind of crane with a movable pivoted arm. Again the answer is expected to be in paragraph 3. Let's see what it is. So the answer is derrick. Clear, students? So this is how you are going to answer your unseen passages. First is you will read the passage carefully, underline all the relevant details. If you come across any hard word or a new word, underline it. It will definitely help you solve your vocabulary based questions. So I hope, students, this part is clear to all of you. Okay, now I have an example. I have a do-it-yourself question for you all, which you will be answering in your composition book. You need not copy the entire passage in your composition book. This passage, I will be sending it through notes as well. Clear? So this has to be completed and to be written in your composition book, and this is the passage followed by the questions over here. Make sure you sincerely answer these questions. See what the question demands. Accordingly, you will answer. Okay, so that's it, students. For today, we are done with unseen passage. Make sure you read the tips before you answer the unseen passage that is given as homework. So students, you will take care of yourself until we meet next. Sai Ram. Bye-bye.